Helen, please, can you introduce yourself in a little more detail and why you made that transition from law to wellbeing?
Yeah, I mean, I was trained at Linklaters. I was in the Magic Circle for about 5 years, and then I moved firms a couple of times and ended up at the firm Rosling King, which is where I made partner at 6 years qualified. And I think I really sort of made the transition into, training as a psychotherapist and also launching my business in coaching, because I saw so much need in the legal sector on the inside. Across the whole industry, really. I guess it's law, it's finance, it's the City of London. People are working extremely hard. People are often very overworked and, suffering with mental health issues, and well-being just isn't optimized like it could be. So what I wanted to do was somebody sort of from the inside who could offer something which would help people to, feel better in themselves and then perform better and just live happier, more fulfilled lives, really. Do
you see an increase in demand for that over the years, or is it's something that you feel is quite new to the law?
I mean, I think well-being in the law has been an issue ever since I joined. I think what's really apparent to me now is that it's more widely spoken about. Whether that means that initiatives are actually helping people in the way that they should is another question, I think. But I think when I first started 10 years ago, I don't think these conversations were even really happening as much. I think now, especially since the pandemic, people are speaking out a lot more about what they want, about what they need, about flexible working and all of that sort of stuff. I think we've also got Gen Z coming through who are actually demanding something different. So I think in that respect, the landscape is changing. Equally, I think what's clear from all of the different surveys in this country, abroad, America, internationally, etc., that they all show that we've essentially got an epidemic on our hands in terms of lawyer wellbeing and mental health. So there's still a lot of work to be done, I think.
Do you think burnout is probably the number one symptom amongst lawyers?
I think burnout, essentially that it's when you're extremely overworked, it's a consequence of, it's not just something which happens overnight. And I think when people say just snap out of it, that's just not possible. It's something which wears the body down, it wears the immune system down, it affects our brain, it affects our nervous system, and it can have really, really serious consequences. In a sense, it's not that surprising that it affects the legal industry. I mean, many people are working under extreme stress, extremely long hours through the day, through the night, over extended periods of time. And because of that, I think it's no wonder really that people are going to suffer from burnout and just reach that point of collapse if they're not doing something before that to help themselves feel better on the whole. And I think the irony is that the profession is full of, these high achievers who want to perform at their best and do their best and be really, really successful. And I can resonate with that myself. But because of that, you keep pushing yourself harder, but you don't realize that, it's a bit like a Formula One race. If you don't do your pit stop and change your tires, you will burn through them and you will come off the track.
I love that analogy. It's very appropriate.